welcome to another episode of Shooting
the Shit with Rachel
and Neal Young. So we're talking all things real estate photography business growth, mindset, and getting it done. Here come your favorite true entrepreneurs, Rachel and Neal Young, shooting the shit.
I have a ferret on the podcast. Like if we're kind of in a slump, like what kind of things do you do?
Talking about a boob light.
Straddling a power line.
Nice photo.
Ooh, I need that.
I'm like red right now because I'm embarrassed. I go like this. I love it.
Come in.
Sure, use your podcast voice.
You know, over here, I'm kidding out.
Drone's like flipping to the ground.
That's a great callback.
Chit-chatting.
Is that what you call that?
Hey! This episode is brought to you by my admin. Well, HD Photo Hub, which is basically like having an admin.
That's right. And it's not just a delivery platform. It's a powerhouse designed to make your work shine. From stunning teaser videos and social media reels to custom property websites and polished printable flyers, HD Photo Hub automates it all so you can focus on what matters, growing your business.
That's right. On today's episode, I heard on a podcast this really fun thought, and I was like, yeah, I should totally evaluate myself that way. And the whole thought was, if you could evaluate your own self as the business owner, as if you were an employee, how would you be doing? Would you even still be a part of the company if you weren't the boss? Nope. And I'm like, oh, you know what? This is a really cool thought to really stop and look at your performance. And if you had a boss, pretend you're your boss, what would you step outside of yourself and tell yourself what you probably could do better at and where you're shining and where you might not be doing so great. And maybe if we need to reassess where we should, where your best fit is.
Well, I'm perfect. I'm a great employee. Episode over.
Oh, wow. That was a good one. I'm so glad that everybody tuned in, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Yeah, it's been real. It's been real.
Yeah. No, because clearly I was like, I instantly started thinking, I know some of my faults, things that I could improve on, things that I know I should be doing in the back of my head and I haven't got to yet.
Yep.
Am I making the best use of my time?
Yeah, that's so funny. And honestly, like, I've gone through such a shift in my role in the company as I've grown and as I've gotten the team and having a full-time assistant that takes care of all the customer service. It's just freed up so much of my time, which is great. But at the same, like you'd think, oh, Rachel has so much time now to do all these things. And it's like, I do, but I'm not very good at managing my time when I'm not being told where I need to be. Like when I was shooting all the time, it's like I had to be there. My clients were expecting me there. I'm not going to let my clients down 100%. But when it's like the tasks now that I need to do are create a video, set up Pixl CRM, like all these tasks that are like kind of daunting to me, like not my favorite things to do, but I know they're important for the business. It's really, really easy for me to procrastinate. And this is funny that you came up with this idea. Neal came up with this idea and just texted it to me before we were recorded. And he was like, what do you think of this? I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Because literally this morning I was thinking to myself, I wonder if I was an employee and Casey were to evaluate me, what she would think of me. I'd be like, I would fail. I would be failing because it takes me forever to get stuff done. And it's like, it doesn't ever get done when I'm supposed to do it. I do things when I want to do them, which is part of the ADHD brain thing. But one thing yesterday I had on my list, the only thing I really had on my list that was really important, I had 3 things, was edit some portraits, which I got done pretty quickly. That was easy. And then the next thing was to go through Pixl CRM's marketing roadmap, which is, they're like 10-minute long little videos that you watch and you follow along and you set it up as you go. They're great. It teaches you all about marketing, but for some reason, I'm just like not excited to do it yesterday, right? I just was not in the mood whatsoever. So I needed to work out and I procrastinated that until the evening. I procrastinated Pixl CRM until 7:30 p.m. But guess what? I designed an ad for Real Producers Magazine, which I've been wanting to do, and created all the copyright for it. Got that dialed. That was huge. That took me an hour and a half. That was something that's been on my list for over a month, and I finally got that done. So that felt good. I delegated some tasks. I took care of a couple clients. I had a couple phone calls with clients. Like there was so much stuff that I did do, but like the one thing that I really needed to do was like so hard for me to do. And I think about
Oh
Casey,
yeah.
who has all these tasks every day that she has to do and things that I give her, and she writes them down and she just gets them done. And I'm like, you are a
Hmm.
good employee. I am
There
not a good
is
employee.
there is freedom if it's funny. There's freedom in the constraints of being told what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, these are the things I have to do, and you do them.
Yeah.
And when you're in our seat, where there's so many things that you should be doing and could be doing, and you juggle them, I feel the same way that it's very easy to choose the easier ones are the ones you like more. And there's a lot of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know I need to do reels. I know I need to do stories. I need to do I need to do promos for the business, all the stuff. A lot of stuff that I would rather do than right, like that example, maybe the technical thing that is just not, you're not as inclined to do, or whatever isn't your favorite thing, that those will keep getting put on the back burner. I think another way to look at this might be, if you have no other employees, or you do have employees but they already have their jobs and responsibilities. If you had a new hire, if you imagine a new hire, what are the critical things you would tell them that they need to focus on, that need to get done, and the priority of those? Write down what that would be, and then go, these are probably the things I should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Or I need to hire somebody to do these things, right? There's the two
Yeah.
things, but
Right.
that's probably like, those are the urgent things I should probably really get done if they're what I
Mm-hmm.
would hire somebody to do. And if you don't have the ability to hire them, then I guess what? You're the dude.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and that's funny when you think about it like that. It's like, so it's hard to ignore at that point when you go, yeah, I wrote down here I really need to do the settings on Pixel, or I really need to do my marketing. And for me, the biggest thing was I really needed to set up my packages on HD Photo Hub, and I was
Mm-hmm.
putting it off forever because it was daunting to me, and I was afraid of messing it up, whatever the reason was. But if I worked somewhere, my boss had told me that's a top priority, and at the end of the week that wasn't worked on, I would have been fired.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know. It's
So.
crazy when you really think about like you are your own boss and we set our own hours. We are the
Hmm.
only one driving us forward. And
Yeah.
so much of the time, I have this new character in my brain that I call Frank. And
Mm.
Frank doesn't like Rachel to stick to her meal plan or to get stuff done or to be focused or have energy. Frank wants Rachel to go take naps and just shop on
Yes.
Amazon all day. Literally spent yesterday. Do you know what I did? I went down a stupid rabbit hole. We're remodeling. Well, we're not remodeling, but we like painted the house. Like I got new light fixtures for the dining room and above the entry. I got new light bulb covers for the fixture in the bathroom. And the poles don't match. The poles are silver and all the hardware is matte black.
Oh,
And I'm like, I want the poles to match the hardware. Stupid. I spent at least 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes looking at poles for my cabinets. I mean, it's not that hard to pick one, but that's what I'm talking about. It's like
what,
Frank
what
sends
are
me on
the
these stupid.
Frank?
There's only a
Frick,
million different ones to choose from. I should have
frickin'
just freaking gone
Frank.
to Home
Wait,
Depot. It would have
what
taken
are
less
the
time.
poles? I'm confused.
The
For the
little knobs that
cabinet?
you pull the cabinet, the drawer out with. The little
Oh,
pulls.
okay.
Yeah.
The pole and the knobs on top of that.
Yeah. Well, the knob on the drawer or the cabinet has like a little handle that you pull open. Yeah. You have
Oh,
to get
okay.
new
Yeah, yeah.
hardware for that because
Hmm.
they're all silver and they need to be black. They need to match.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
husband's like, you're crazy. There's nothing wrong with those. Just leave them. I'm like, nope, must match.
And
Driving
how
me
long did you
crazy.
and how long did you spend on that?
45 minutes at least.
Oh yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
here and now I want to install them. And I'm like, that's not on my to-do list today. I must podcast. Gotta work out. Gotta get
Uh,
other stuff
you know
done.
what that makes me think of, is somebody had mentioned this thought about most people do, like, I forget what it is, 90% of their work in 4 hours out of a
Mm-hmm.
day or something like that. It's
Yeah.
really only 4 hours that you're really productive in actually doing that. And the thought that if you added one more hour to that, how much more you would get done
Mm-hmm.
is like, you know, whatever, 25% more done. If you amplified that throughout the whole year, if you could just could change your whole world with an extra hour basically of focused work.
Right.
And so it's so hard for me though. So many times I'm sitting
Oh
there
my
like
gosh.
I'm watching a movie on Netflix at night and I'm like, and here's that hour. Shit.
And I don't care because I
Yeah,
don't want to do it.
and
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. But
Yep.
fuck, this is the hour. This is the Kobe. Everything you ever saw Kobe Bryant talking about, like how he, got as good as he was that extra hour where everybody was watching Netflix, and I'm like, nah, shit.
As you're like, what
Click,
show should I watch tonight?
click. Ah,
That's so
crap.
funny. Yep.
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
that so true though?
But
Yeah.
it's true. If you can find an extra hour, I tried so
Hmm.
hard to get up an hour earlier
Yeah.
and go to bed earlier. God, did I fail on that challenge. I really, every night I'm like, okay. And I just couldn't get to bed early enough that I could actually get up out of bed without just being
It's
exhausted.
Frank. It's
Frank,
Frank. He's annoying.
Frank,
I'm like, Frank, it's not up to you because I have goals and things that I need to do and I need to be driven. You know what's
freaking
funny is
Frank.
like, I know, stupid Frank. When I started this business, it was like sink or swim. I look back to how
That's
hard I
right.
worked in
That's
the
right.
beginning
Mm-hmm.
because it was like, okay, I'm doing this business and it's gonna work. And it luckily it did, but like I put so many hours into building it and to networking and shooting and learning. And like that's all I did for like 3 years, you know? And then I went through that burnout phase, which I literally just heard something yesterday or the day before, and it said it can take up to 3 years to get over burnout. And I was like, 3 years? I was like, well, no wonder why I still feel this way. I was like, oh my gosh,
Oh,
that's too
jeez.
long,
Yeah.
Frank. We can't be burnt
That's
out for three
that's if you're letting
years.
Frank run the show. Frank's a
Right.
3-year guy. Come on.
Yeah.
3 years.
Frank, you're
Not
not going to
allowed.
hang out for long,
That's a
buddy.
super valuable point though, right? That's another great point. Is you don't have a deadline when you're in charge. There's no
Right.
specific deadline. There's nobody holding that over your head and nobody's gonna peek in your office and go, "Hey, how's it going on that report there, Frank?"
Hmm.
So you're like, I'll do it tomorrow."
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
So maybe
And
we need
like,
to hold ourselves accountable with some deadlines, some
yeah.
specific deadlines, and maybe have an accountability partner like Rach and I are trying to do a little bit
Mm,
for ourselves with exercising and diets and stuff, which is actually
yes.
helping me.
Yeah. Good.
Um,
I'm like,
yeah,
I text Neil. I'm like, Neil, drop him, give me 10. And then he
yep,
texts back. He's like, I gave you 20. Now give
that's
me
right.
10 squats. I'm
That's
like,
right.
dang it. I'm squatting in my kitchen. Like, okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
No.
that's great. It's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I know.
Um,
I've been struggling to stay on this meal plan. Like I do good for a week and then I just fall off completely and eat sugar and feel like crap and beat myself up about it. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna jump back on. And so since
mhm.
Monday, I've been back on, but Neil's helping me. I'm sending him pictures of my meals and I'm like, I'm doing
Yep.
good.
No, you're good. And I just kind of check in like, how you doing with your cravings today, Rachel?
Hmm.
And so Rachel has got me going. I told her, well, maybe you could be my accountability partner to exercise a little bit more. So she's like, did you exercise today? I'm like, no. So then I do right at that moment. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it. So yesterday she got me to do 15 minutes on the bike, 15 minutes of curls and buys and tries, and then 15 more minutes on the bike. And I got to tell you that the second round of 15 on the bike, that sounds easy. And that is easy for anybody. But I tell you what, Frank did not want to do the last 15 minutes on the bike. It was like, come on,
Yeah.
we're gonna do it. Oh,
Hmm.
it was misery, but I'm glad I did it.
Good
And then
job.
the other thing I'm doing, and I'm 3 days in a row. I've got a gold star 3 days in a row for not eating after dinner, Rachel.
Good job. Yay. I told him to not eat carbs after 3 p.m. and to stop eating at 6 p.m. Like no food or water after 6.
I'm not doing the 3 p.m. thing. I'm only doing the dinner. I'm
Okay.
doing, I'm eating, I can only do baby steps for this guy. I'm eating my dinner and then after that, nope, that's it, no more. And that's been very hard. There's so many times that I'm not even conscious of it that I'm going up to get a snack and then I'm like, oh, back in the box.
Yep.
Yeah, and
I
I'm fine. It
did.
actually does feel kind of good in the morning.
Yeah.
And
Are you weighing in every morning?
oh no, I haven't weighed in once. I should
Okay,
be.
you got to weigh in the morning because you'll start seeing the scale go down,
That's
and
yeah,
that's the smart
that's not a part of my what's it? Not schedule, but
routine.
habits. It's not one of my habits because that's never been in my mind to like what do I weigh? So I have to find the scale even. I don't know, but I should just to see if I make progress. But I
Yeah.
know that it's good because I would definitely be getting a lot more snacks at night than I have in the last 3 nights. So, psst, sorry to interrupt. If you haven't heard, Rach and I are using Pixl CRM.
Pixl CRM isn't just another boring tool. It's basically your business's best friend. With Pixl CRM, you can automate your lead generation, follow-ups, client communication, and stay top of mind with email campaigns. And there's just so much more.
And if you want, you can try it out today. Just go to pixelcrm.com/STS, and you're going to get the first month of Pixel CRM free.
Yeah. Just cutting snacks at night will definitely make a difference.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm starting there. And then if I get
Yeah.
excited from
Big
there,
time.
maybe I'll add something else.
There
And
you go.
I have to go easy on the stupid exercising, unfortunately. I've been doing more like squats just because my tendonitis has been back ever since I started working out regularly. I pushed it a little too hard once, and tendonitis is back in my arm, so I have to go just baby easy. I do
That
the
doesn't
most.
make I think you should go to the doctor and get that checked out. That doesn't seem right. That's crazy. 'Cause
Yeah,
tendonitis is usually from like overworking something. And
yeah.
you're not even working out much, no offense. But like you shouldn't be having tendonitis
No,
from lifting one time.
that's when I was doing the 50 push-ups every day, and then
Yeah.
started adding doing the bench pressing to it,
Mm.
and it felt good, and I went all out on some bench pressing and did a bunch of. I was like, wow, look at dude, I can do the reps I used to do in college, and then there came the tendonitis
Maybe
back.
you need some supplements.
Yeah, maybe I
That
need
might
some
help.
supplements.
I
But
don't
I
know.
do.
Anyways.
All I
Anyways.
know is that years ago, when it came the first time when I was working out regular with my buddy, who's a big Samoan looking dude, but he's Filipino. It came then I did see the doctor that time, and he said, "Yeah, tendonitis, and you got two choices: lay off it or surgery." And so I don't know
Oh,
if
geez.
maybe somebody else has a better thought.
Yeah.
If you know anything about this and you've got recommendations, I would love to hear about it besides
Yeah.
surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're totally off topic again. Imagine that. But I just made an
What?
appointment with a doctor. It's called Journey to Wellness, and they test it's food allergies. They do a Dutch test, which is like a hormone panel, which doesn't it's not like the normal hormone test that they give you at the doctor. It's like gives them all the pathways and it's a lot more in depth. And then another test for some viruses that they think I might have. So
Mm,
I was like, yeah, because I just don't feel right still. Like the whole reason I did this meal plan
yep.
is so that I could feel better because I'm tired all the time and worn down and I can't focus. And I know that I have ADHD, but I still feel like,
I know what
I
it is.
mean, yeah, it's
It's
just, I don't, something doesn't feel right with my body. I don't always feel 100%. I always, like, I feel congested all the time. I feel like there's stuff
hmm
in my throat. My chest hurts a little. Like, I just don't feel right.
I know what it is, Rach. You don't have to go see any more
What?
physicians. No more French tests,
No, the allergy test is going to help because I guarantee you I'm
Dutch
allergic to
tests,
stuff.
German tests. No, here's what it is. Are you ready? I'm going to give you the
Yeah.
prediction.
Okay.
You need to get rid of gluten.
Well, maybe. I don't think it's that.
Yep.
I'll come back and let you know in a month when I get all my
I
results
already
back.
know. You got to get rid of the gluten to get rid of the flours. I
I
know
don't
it.
eat flour.
No,
I
there's no gluten in any of the stuff that on your
I
diet thing.
don't
I think
know.
you're wrong. You're going to be surprised when you see how much gluten is in everything.
Okay. I don't eat
Because
bread.
they use it as a binder in a lot of
Hmm.
things.
Mm. Okay.
And though I'm just saying that honestly because I know somebody that was having problems like that.
Hmm.
And that's what it came down to. They were feeling sluggish, they were having all those kinds of problems, and they cut out gluten.
Interesting. Well, when I figure it out, I'll let you know. Because
All
I
right.
think I might. The doctor
You
was pretty
let me know if you
sure he
want.
knows what it is.
I
But
already know I'm right. I'm a doctor, so
oh my gosh. Well, okay, you're too much. You're too much. Killing me right now. So anyways, yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. So part of the burnout feeling could be from this health stuff that's going
mm,
on. So, but anyways, not it was just interesting yesterday to like my husband was gone all day and all night. So I literally my kids were gone. So I was home. I had the entire day to work. Do you know? And I didn't have any shoots. So I was home the
mm,
whole day. Do you know how many days I crave for that so that I can get stuff done? And
mm-hmm.
every time that I happen to have one of those days, which happen a couple times a month usually, it's like I don't do anything that I'm supposed to do on my
Mm-mm.
list. I'm like, why do I do that? It's like self-sabotaging. I don't get it. I do
That's what I
not
was gonna say too about that.
understand.
When we all first
Why?
got going, and it was like, you know, do or die because
Hmm.
you had to make the bills, you had to whatever.
Right.
And when you take that away, it's harder to focus. In some
Mhm.
ways, that's a blessing when you're in a corner because you come out fighting,
I
right?
know. I know.
But
And
when
I'll
you get a little comfy, you're like, well, what's on Amazon?
I know. I'm like, I could. And I stayed off of Instagram. I did good staying off Instagram because that's another trap. Like,
Wait,
no. But
you
I mean, my house cleaners came yesterday, so I had to clean the whole house. So I like put everything away. Oh, I have a new motto. When I get home, I don't put it down, I put it away. Don't put it
don't
down, put it
don't
away.
don't put it down.
Don't
I
put it
like
down.
that. That's a good
I've been doing it
motto.
all day. I keep saying
Don't
that to
put it
myself.
down, put it away.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
good.
And one of
I
my
gotta tell
most
that to my daughter.
I know. I'm going to tell my kids that too. Don't put it down. Put it away.
Put it
Go
away.
put it away. Yes.
Yeah.
I've been doing it all day today and my house is so clean. I'm like, wow.
Mm, yeah.
It's amazing how
We
many things you put down.
I wonder how many other photographers kind of have this ADHD or just the obsessive kind of brain where you can focus on something for so long because that's what I do. We talked about this, and lately I've been obsessing on film cameras,
Mm.
just because I like them. You know, you see there's some behind me
Mhm.
in my background, and things come back into for the foreground of my focus or whatever you want to call it periodically. And right now it just happens to be, I'm like, oh, film cameras, and I sometimes have to tell myself, chill out. In another month, you're gonna totally forget about this again. Like,
Not
let it
important.
go and focus on something else. But I'm like,
Yeah.
so well, the Nikon F3. Well, what about a Mamiya 645? And like, I'm like so nerding out on film cameras right now, which is really
So
fun.
funny.
But
Yeah.
that's what my brain
It's
does.
called hyper focusing, Neil, and you're going to hyper focus on whatever your brain finds interesting at the moment. That's
Hmm.
just part of it.
Rach, can you imagine if you had to go back to a world pre-HD Photo Hub?
Oh, no way. No, HG Photo Hub literally saved my life during the COVID craze.
Yeah.
With online ordering, their invoicing, the photo delivery, the Google integration, and just having everything on one platform, HD Photo Hub really does it all. And I cannot imagine my business without it.
Same. Pre-HD Photo Hub, I feel like I was just spending all my time chasing my own tail. It was horrible. The
Mhm.
good news is our listeners get a special deal. If you enter the code STS, you're going to get 10 free full marketing kit deliveries. Remember, enter the code STS. Hmm.
And like you were saying, most people get the most work done in 4 hours. Like when I sit down and focus, I can get a ridiculous amount done in a
Hmm.
very short amount of time when I'm focused on it and when I do it.
Hmm.
And it's usually when there's a little pressure under me, like, oh,
Yes.
shoot, okay, I'm coming up. I've got a busy day tomorrow. I've only got an hour to do this. I can get so much more done than like even this morning. It took me 3.5 hours to do my Bible study, do my journaling, write out my budget. I'm like writing down everything I spend for the week, which I had to do the whole week because I forgot. And then I rode my bike for 20 minutes. I drank my coffee. I worked out. I went in the sauna and I showered and got ready. That took me 3.5 hours to do that. Like
Yeah.
Bible study was like 2 pages. It wasn't that much. And I just dilly dally when there's not, I
There's
don't.
no hard deadline. Yeah.
Yeah. And my intention was to be ready to go by 9 a.m. I didn't even get in the shower until 9 a.m. because I wanted to work on Pixl CRM this morning for at least an hour.
Yeah.
And that did not happen. Did finish my ad for Real Producers. I got it formatted perfectly and saved, and I just got to email it off now. But that took another half hour to mess with that. And then I had a client call that took 20 minutes to talk her through some stuff. And, so time just kind of gets eaten up before
And
we're
then
recording this podcast.
you were recording on the podcast for 2 hours.
Yeah, and then now we're doing 3 hours on the podcast, which it was already scheduled in my day, so I know that. And then I'm heading out to go have dinner with friends, which I have to leave early because traffic's terrible. It's going to take me an hour and a half to get there. So, anyways, it's just like the whole losing track of time is another big one too. And I think
Yeah.
most entrepreneurs have ADD or ADHD, so it's very common. I know a lot of
Yeah.
you probably struggle with the same thing.
Hmm.
And I've heard different tactics like time blocking or setting
Yeah.
a timer for doing things or, setting these little deadlines for yourself or like using motion to get your tasks done. Like
Yep.
that's something that I should definitely use because that was helpful. I keep forgetting
You
and
go in and out of it a little bit
I
using
do.
it, huh?
I do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out. But I got a whiteboard.
We're all human. Even
Mm.
when we have the solutions, we still have to
Mhm.
implement them, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know honestly, if I did more I have to stop and think, prioritize first before I dive into something. What's really important? Okay, now, mm, what's a time limit for myself to accomplish this? And like make a promise to myself that I will do it in that time and not let
Hmm.
my really make it's funny that I have to do that with myself, but I have to like do that with myself.
Yeah.
Okay, you are now going to do this, brain. And if we don't do it, we're letting ourselves down. Even there's like no stakes, I have to like make the stakes that you're going to hurt your own feelings if you don't do this, Neil.
Right. Well, I posted, it's like that Tip Tuesday I posted. If you want more confidence, do the things you
That's
say
right.
you're going to do.
That's right.
And it's so true because
Hmm.
when you're not accomplishing what you say you're going to accomplish, you're not doing the things you say you're going to do, you're just letting yourself down. You're
So
doubting your own
it's so
self-worth
true.
and
And you start to
it's
feel bummed
crazy.
out and you start to feel depressed about where your business is. And that's
Mm-hmm.
because you're not doing what you know you should do.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Now I have to write my list again. There's so many things. I'm doing some of them, but there's always so much improvement I could do, right?
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
I can hold you accountable with that stuff too if you'd
Yeah,
like, Neil.
and an accountability partner helps as well. So
Yeah.
literally, we can block time and we can tell each other. We can check in on each other. Hey, did you do your thing? But you have to allow, if you have an accountability partner, the biggest part about that is you have to allow them to have that that you have to give them that like hey
Yeah.
you are going to check you can't be mad when they do and you can't be like wow they're annoying like you give them the power to check in and make sure that you're doing what you should be doing and keeping you in line. If you don't do that it's worthless,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You have to accept that that is going to be cool.
Totally.
Yeah, yeah.
Except the
And I think we
accountability.
should have some punishments as well, Rachel.
Well, I did have a big handful of goldfish crackers last night and I was up half a pound. I'm
You
like,
had a
from freaking goldfish crackers?
Rachel. So this is the thing.
They
You
were
also
very
have to be
salty.
honest with your accountability and not
Oh,
hide the things because there's no way I can know if Rachel had a handful of goldfish until she tells me, God damn it. So
I'm
here's the
telling you
penalty.
now.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have a
Just so you
penalty,
know.
which you're doing squats and scrunches as soon as this is over.
I already did
And
all that.
I
Already
did
worked out.
accidentally, it doesn't matter. It's a penalty. You messed up. You're going to do something so that you know there's repercussions. I did mess up the other
Fine.
day and I didn't do it intentionally, but I was making pineapple. My daughter's right here. I was making pineapple for my daughter at nighttime. And as I put some on her plate, I put one in my mouth and went, oh no, but I did swallow it anyway.
Pineapple?
Pineapple. Yeah.
You can eat
Yeah.
pineapple. That's on the
I,
meal plan.
after dinner? No food
After
after
every
dinner.
meal. Yeah, it helps you digest your food. If you have just a fourth of a cup of pineapple, it helps you
Oh,
absorb your food like I don't know. It
okay.
does something. It's good for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Just don't eat too much because it's got a lot of sugar in it.
yeah, well, that's what I
So
was thinking.
it can turn into carbs and be
But
bad
I
for you.
magically fell into grace there. But you, my dear, are doing some squats and scrunches. Yes, honey.
I need food.
Oh, and my daughter needs some food.
She needs food.
Yeah,
Okay.
time for food. Cool.
Well, guys, if you're struggling with being a bad employee, I don't know.
Time to assess
Reevaluate.
yourself.
Yeah,
Yep.
time to assess yourself.
Write
How would
down
you
what you could
do?
improve on. For
Yes.
sure.
Write down where you could improve, make lists, try to get organized, prioritize your tasks, time block. You know, all the things that we don't do.
And
Do
get
those.
yourself an accountability partner when all of that
Yes.
fails.
Exactly. They'll hold you to it. All right. Well, have a great day, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Later.
Bye.